I want to make sure that we're really advocating for everyone and we're mindful of what we're doing and who we're impacting.
Hi, my name is Michelle Apoetica Richardson, and I am here at PTV with an amazing group of people today. And we are here today introducing you to these groups of people because they're running for office. This lovely woman that I have here with me right now is running for Light Commissioner. And who are you, Madame?
My name is Tracy Valletti.
So are you from Peabody originally?
Not originally, but I've been here for over 30 years.
My goodness.
Yes, yep. My husband and I have raised our kids here, and we love it. We love it here, and we're not far from downtown. And there's a lot of advantages to Peabody, and I really wanted to give back. And I was a former library trustee.
Okay.
And I'm a small business owner here.
What do you do for business?
Healthcare. I have a care management practice.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
And you serve right here in the North Shore?
Yep, and Merrimack Valley. I go as far as southern New Hampshire and a little south of Boston. But it's really my sweet spot is Greater Boston, North Shore, Cape Ann, Merrimack Valley.
So are you in nursing as well?
So I do have nurses on staff.
Okay.
But I do I do mostly placements, me personally, and when it's real acute issues, it goes to my nurses.
Nice.
So,
okay.
But we help people navigate healthcare because right now it's kind of difficult.
It's very difficult, yes.
Yeah.
Indeed, especially for the seniors.
Yeah.
It's a very tough road. So, Light Commissioner. What does the Light Commissioner do? I think of a Light Commissioner, I'm thinking lighthouses, honey. So please.
Well, that would be nice too.
That would be nice, right?
Yes.
So what does a Light Commissioner do?
A Light Commissioner is, there are 5, and that we serve the light plant so that we can help to make policy. And that's pretty much what we do. We can steer things in certain directions, and we help guide the light plant manager. Okay. And we oversee the light plant manager.
Okay, so they answer to you, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens in the Light Commission?
So we meet monthly.
Mm-hmm.
We don't meet during the summer, but we meet monthly, and it's usually about an hour. And we review things that are on the agenda that the light plant manager is bringing to our attention that we need to address. And it could be anything from we're approving a new project that's going on to building issues that we need to talk about, discuss, and budget for. And the budget, too, we review and approve the budget.
What would you say is some of your more proudest moments in your line of work?
Well, just for transparency, I was appointed in February, so I've only been on it for a few months. Yes.
Look at you go. Okay.
Yes, I did. I ran in 2021, and I was the runner-up, and I was really honored when Charles Belfonte had retired, and there was a vacancy that the city councilors and the light commissioners appointed me for that vacant seat.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. So I'm learning a lot, and so there's still a lot, that's going on. But my proudest moment, I guess, I had to be just advocating for the residents. So when they go on the website, they can see where our power sources are coming from. It's a little hard to understand what, spot market is, what hedge power is. And it's a learning curve for me and if I'm confused, I want to make sure that the residents are understanding that as well.
That's awesome, because sometimes as constituents, we just take it as we're given it, and we don't seek more information. I think it's important to know what's going on behind the doors, behind these policies and these procedures that affect us all. We all use power.
Yeah. And I think right now there's a lot of questions about where we're getting our power from, because there's so much of a spotlight on climate energy right now, right? The climate environment, and where are we going with becoming a green community, and how are we getting are we doing a lot of projects in renewables, and where do we stand on the climate issues that are facing us? So I think as it has arisen over the last few years, people want more information. And I think it just serves everyone better if we can do that, help them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this peaker plant, I know that we were just talking about it, and a lot of people don't understand what it is, don't know what it is. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Basically, it's a generator.
Okay.
So if there's any kind of chance that we're going to lose power, right, that gets kicked on, right? And I know I was advocating not for it to be built because it could end up being a stranded asset, but it is being built. And so what I decided to do is I really wanted to pivot into a different direction. And how can we stop it from being generating more power, right, and pollution in the city? So I decided to go after trying to get the designated green community grant program established here in Peabody. So I became a champion of that. And Ann Manning had tried to do that like 11 years ago. Had we done it 11 years ago, we probably would have been one of the first communities to do it. Now, 90% of all the other cities and towns in Massachusetts have done it. There's a lot of grant money that go behind it. And so I decided to kind of put my head down and really researched how can we move forward with this. So I found a way. So it gets out of the PMLP's hands for approval because it's a municipal light plant. It usually goes to the MLP if it's an MLP city or town. And I brought it to the council, and luckily it moved forward. And tonight, as a matter of fact, they are voting on the stretch code, the last piece of it. And so if that gets approved, then it will go to the city council as a whole to approve it to move forward to the state. And if that happens and we do get approved, then we'll get about $250,000 in grant money to retrofit municipal buildings for LED lights, insulation, heat pumps, all of those things to reduce our energy consumption and have a greener footprint, and that's really what we want.
That's beautiful.
So,
now, is that available only for like city hall and city departments, or is that going to be made available to the entire community?
It's for municipal buildings,
Okay.
right? And it includes education and for demand reduction strategies and things like that, and solar projects, EV charging stations.
Great.
So it's going to benefit everybody because you'll have lower rates. Things like that are going to benefit, and a cleaner air. That's really what it's all about.
Sounds really exciting.
I know. I'm very excited.
So being a business owner in the city of Peabody, and how is there an intersection for you in what you do for work and in what you do for the city? Is there anything is there a cross?
So that's a really great question.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the reasons why I became kind of concerned when I saw about the peaker plant a couple of years ago being built, I was really concerned because of health reasons, right? There's a large percentage of people that really have chronic illnesses in this area, and a lot of it's due to pollution. So it kind of was like a perfect storm for me when I read about, that plant being built and, how can I continue to give back? I was a library trustee before, and I thought that maybe I would do this and try to give back as well and try to lend the healthcare lens to, there's also the climate issues, but with clean energy, you're cleaning up the air.
Yeah.
And that is just better for everyone who lives here.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of how it intersected, but that's a really good question.
Yeah, I feel far too often we put ourselves in these pockets, right? And in the pockets, one's on this side, one's on this side, they never connect.
Mm-hmm.
But if we put them all together, we
Right.
could really put together some ideas and some needs that could be fulfilled. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that, what I've done in my career, I think it really lends itself to a different perspective on the board.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want just engineers or people, in that industry, because you have to have different voices.
Absolutely.
You have to represent different people in the community. And I have a background in healthcare prior to my business, which I've only been operating for 2 years. I managed healthcare facilities. So, very fiscally responsible, millions of dollars that I have had to work with. And that helps. with what we're dealing with. Part of that is,
Absolutely.
budgeting and looking at the money. And
working in healthcare, I think you come with a very, very important lens to the Light Commission, because people don't know or aren't fully aware of how much of a necessity power can be to somebody that has health issues, especially if like
absolutely.
they use a CPAP machine, if they're on oxygen.
Oxygen. Yep.
Yes, so that's definitely a big
We have a
thing.
lot of healthcare facilities that are right here too,
Yeah.
right? And we're lucky. We have the PMLP is amazing. And, they're very responsive, and there's hardly any outages, and, we're lucky for that. Now, transitioning to clean energy, we can make it better by making sure that our residents are healthier.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate that so much. Is there any initiative in your notebook that's waiting there to be manifested? Is there anything that you've been working on? Is there anything that once you're elected you're going to be able to start working towards? Is there anything that you need the support of the community to get done?
Yeah.
Like, is there anything else that you'd like to add? Remembering that this is an opportunity for people to understand why it's important that they vote for you.
Well, I like to think of myself as being very collaborative. So I have a lot of residents already reaching out, and they've been so great sending me articles on who's doing what and what different municipalities, why can't we do this? And so, I just take that all in. I try to absorb it and read it. And I'm still am learning a lot. So there is a lot to learn. This is a very different landscape than what I'm used to. So I do have a lot to learn, but I do have some things that I'm thinking about doing.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's very exciting, and I'm really I want to make sure that some of the projects that we hopefully can do are very sensitive to where they're being done, especially like environmental justice communities, right? I want to make sure that we're really advocating for everyone, and we're mindful of what we're doing and who we're impacting.
Yeah.
So those are kind of things that are on my.
I think your healthcare lens comes with a touch of social justice in its path, and I
guess I hadn't thought of that, but yeah,
because you're advocating for their rights to these things, so that I feel like often we overlook the full breadth of what we're putting out, of what we're putting on the table, and I think it's important that you understand that as well. Sometimes we take ourselves for granted, or we don't see the full picture because we're in it.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is also social justice work. So thank you for that.
Right. Yeah, you're welcome.
If any constituents wanted to reach out to you on social media, is there a way that they could reach you on social media?
Sure. I mean, I have a Facebook page. I always tell people can call me. My number is, listed. It's should I give you my number?
If you want,
sure. I mean, it's my personal cell. I use it for my business cell, and I've been really lucky. People just reach out to me when they're in need, and it's 978-758-2036. And they can email me at tracy.valletti@gmail.com.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people. This beautiful woman is running for office to be your Light Commissioner, and she just gave us some great information on why she does what she does, and what she does, and why it's important to us as a community here in Peabody. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much.